between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. 16 yards right off the bat with a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back to the air, Luck on second down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Luck now to throw. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
A second down run for Dula. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now a play fake, and it's Luck. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Just the first quarter of tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away. Making the catch and going in the other direction.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff looking right. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a... And look at this, it's a fake. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. The trick play works. Excellent execution, 18 yards on that fake and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move, but oftentimes just usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, he's able to pick up the 1st down.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now here's Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. They give him a gain of 37. First catch of this game, a big one. Of course, he had the big performance last week when he was AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, but that was so last week, wasn't it? I mean, look at what he's doing now. I think he's trying to exceed what he did in that game and continue to ascend in this season.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This will be caught at about the 5. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now they'll run on the draw. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers of reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll fake it. Now Locke. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Reggie Ragland coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him. And
he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Throwing is Locke. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the...
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Chris Jones forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Off of play action, Locke lets it fly for Thielen. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He's going to launch this thing. Wait, a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Caught left side by Hilton. And they work this out past the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Luck now on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The Colts on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Play action, it's Luck. And incomplete here on third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They run a draw here on second down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Mahomes now on first down. Room to run inside the 40. Throwing right, and that's complete. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete, and now second down. Second and 10, Luck again. His throw incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. On target over the middle to Hill. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On 1st down, Morrow, a hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Morrow. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the 1st half of play. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Spinning away. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. A good pickup there of 22.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now they try the right side here. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
He takes this to the 15. A flashy juke. That got him a couple extra yards. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, now he throws him over. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let him know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll run here. Abdullah. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Morrow being chased out left. He may try and run for this. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Down, Abdullah. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On 2nd down, here's Luck. A dump off for Abdullah. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for an Indianapolis 1st down on a gain of 10.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football. And they'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Tyrell Williams, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Colts have got it back to a 1-score game. Extra point attempt here still to come. Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Morrow. And that is incomplete.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. That's an excellent job. They force a 3-and-out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. From the gun, here's Luck. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Luck. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. Throwing on 1st down. Morrow. Oh, eluding the tackle. He finds Taylor. Complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
The Chiefs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now again, this is Abdullah, and he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Luck now to throw. Throw left side on target to Thielen. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Luck. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. picked by Kendall Fuller. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Here we go.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. Here's the Chiefs punter now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. One last throw here for Locke. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. But, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Chiefs, they improved.